Breaking news! Breaking news! It turns out that the reason the market has been taking such a poop is that printer man had accidentally shut off his printer. Oh God! Holy God! Bob Saget, dude, that happens to the best of us. What can you do? What can you do, guys? The market today had some freaking boom boom candles, some ripping heads off of bodies. That's nasty. 2.07% Green Day for the SPY. You can only anticipate that there was some inside word regarding this right here. Congressional leaders reached deal to allow debt ceiling increase, and this rubbed off on the entire market pretty consequently. But you know what? As long as the can gets kicked down the road further, you know, why not celebrate, I guess, the grave not being dug quite yet. Guys, welcome back to Trey's Trades. Good to have you here. As always, I'm not a financial advisor, not financial advice. Do what you got to do. We're going to give you an update on ticker symbol AMC as per the usual. I got Titan Chill over here on my right. I have a piece of paper over here on my left, as well as my glasses. I probably should wear these. I always forget. Fun story. I had black ones, but I stepped on them. I think Titan knocked him off my nightstand. He loves knocking stuff off. His cats always do. But we had a pretty solid day today. We're up 7.82%, down a little bit here in the after hours. Not a significant amount. But I am pretty excited about the bounce out of this quadruple bottom. I guess the double George W at the $27 range, right? And that's a pretty nice thing to see. That could ultimately bring us up to some new higher highs off of this bottom that we did see. So we're gonna go over Ortex data first and foremost, because we did see a change here in the data. Now check this out. 18.63% current short interest of free float that was released as of 24 November, which just basically means you saw a lot of shorting take place today. 1.54 million share net difference in borrowed change, which is a good thing to see. And the utilization is starting to creep up a little bit. Not worth looking at yet. Don't get hyped about that number, right? What I'm excited about is that current short interest of free float being the number that it is. Why that is exciting to me is because of a pretty simple thing. Check out the exchange reported short interest. Currently sitting at 18.35, 18.63% actually. The highest it's been is 20.57. And at the time, if you check out the utilization, what did you see it at, right? 85%. Right now we're at 70 something. We saw it at 100% utilization back when the short interest was much, much lower, 17.88%, which leads you to believe that there's a lot of lending taking place from big institutions. Now, kind of think about this, right? Let's just think about for a second AMC institutional ownership. I've talked about this briefly, but you're going to be able to really conceptualize and picture this by simply looking at what I'm about to show you right now. Look at all the recent buyers that have stepped into AMC. Probably the most notable, as I've talked about before, is Vanguard with 4.2 million shares. Now you stack all of these different share amounts, these allocations together, and what do you get, right? A crap ton of institutional owned shares. Now, what are they doing with these shares? What do institutions do with shares? What do banks do with shares? They lend them out, right? This brings me back to the Ortex data. What do you see right here? A low utilization, 76.81%. And you compare that to the very high utilization, meaning that at the time, there were basically no available shares to borrow. There are no available shares to short. What this means is that there's a crap ton of ammunition for shorts to stack into a position. That's a good thing to see because, as we've talked about before, all this does is lure in more of these dumb chickens to to basically try and bet against something that I think is practically inevitable, right? Speaking of chickens, by the way, I am going to have to wear a chicken costume because of this freaking Vikings L. I'm going to show you this really quick. I just think this is an interesting thing. Alpaca tweeted this out. If you want to check him out, here he is. But this is coming in the mail. It should be here on December 9th. So I'm going to have to wear that and hold up a sign for an hour on the busiest street here in town that says, I am a silly chicken. And that'll be a good time. But nonetheless, right, this brings me back to what we were talking about. That's a good thing to see. I'm very happy with that. Cost to borrow is still low, right? You want to see that number go up. And there are still a decent amount of shares available to borrow and a decent amount of shares available to short. So I want to see all these values sort of line up. You're looking for confirmation boxes. And this high short interest is a box, but utilization and the cost to borrow are going to be the next two that I'm looking for. So we keep stepping forward. You wait for that glorious day. And we bring ourselves over here to the chart. Now, what is the chart telling us? I talked about previously that this is a pretty solid setup for a reversal. This $27 quadruple bottom. And there were two different levels that I had marked off here, essentially. You have a downward level of resistance, a downward level of resistance, a previous channel that AMC was trading in pretty religiously for a good amount of time, and now it is broken above both of those speed lines and rejected off of a demand zone. Now, what is a demand zone? Well, for all of the smooth brained apes out there, a very simple way to put it is these are spots in which you can see algorithms and computers basically programmed to buy and sell stock at specific levels, and they're pretty well respected with AMC stock in particular. Where did this come from, right? Well, let's just back this up. I'll show you this on a 4-hour candle, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Check this out. Previously acting as a supply zone, a demand zone, I should say, this would bounce back to the upside, right? Bounced off, bounced off, bounced off. This is essentially a spot where you can expect volatility and buying pressure to push yourself back up. And if you trade beneath that box, right, that demand zone box, now acting as a supply zone, you can see it rejected off of that specific level, right? A break above that should bring a pretty decent move up to what I would anticipate is that $36 range. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Now, you are still looking for a continuation of trend, but I do like a couple different things here, and I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Volume. Volume is starting to follow through on this reversal move, and it has not died back down. That's important because that shows you that there's still buyers interested in bringing the price up from that $28, $29, $30 range. That's significant, right? It's a lot different than trading very low volume as we've seen for a significant amount of time. And don't get this twisted, right? I think it's actually important to have low volume comparatively to what we've seen in the past for a really solid next leg up, right? But this bottom reversal for the volume to continue to follow through, to me, is a good bullish sign. Here's an example, right? I want to show you something that I talked about today in my Discord. NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA, a very good sign of a reversal for me is what I would call a closing bar of volume. Essentially, a bar of volume that is significantly higher than previous days' volume. Check this out, right? At moderate volume, it's higher in comparison to what we've seen here in the past, but this specific bar on this huge hammer doji candle, I shouldn't say doji, but hammer candle, bottoming tail candle, right? That shows me a significant amount of information that, hey, yes, there are buyers that decided to step in today and reverse the market off of that previous low. In the same way, right? You could say the same thing about AMC. Look at this huge freaking hammer candle, this huge bottoming tail candle. Closing bar of volume, significantly higher than any previous day, showing you that buyers decided to step back in and hold the price at that level. Now, it did come back down the next day, but you can see the significance of this in the grand scheme of things. That volume is holding through very, very strong. And that's important to see in terms of getting that reversal and a move back up to some bullish territory. So that's what I'm watching for next, is a break over what is currently acting as a supply zone. I'm going to mark this box red just so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. If you want to come back to this, you can. But that level in specific numbers is between $31.80 and about $33.30. And you'll know because it's going to knife straight through that box to the upside if it's going to break through it tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, whatever, right? In the grand scheme of things, you're not worried about the day-to-day price action if you are simply holding the stock. If you are trading options, right, do what you got to do. Make your own decisions, do your own research, come up with your own conclusions. But I am very happy with this bottom. That is the takeaway for me here today, as I do think that you're pretty decently close to a reversal on the overall position. And it did get a break over two pretty harsh downward trending speed lines. So I'm pretty happy with that. Well, that's what I've got for this video. There's really not much to touch on here today. I just want to give you a touch base sort of situation. The last thing I've got to say is that I am going to be in Dallas on Saturday. I've talked about it previously, but I am working on a 1-year anniversary video special to get back and sort of give you guys some fun content for 1 year of the channel, which I think is pretty cool. And we are going to be doing a meetup in Dallas. I'll show you the specific tweet here, just so you can check it out if you are interested in coming at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. The exact location is at a park. I can't remember the name of the park, but it is on here, Clyde Warren Park at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you'd like to be there, it'll be on Saturday. I'd love to meet some people. I'll be there for an hour or two. And that's what I've got for the freaking video. So I will catch you guys all in the next one. Titan has finally calmed down. He is really just not liking Franklin, but we're going to get him. We're going to get him there. We're taking our time. We're acclimating him slowly. Yada, 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 yada. Peace.